Good morning, everybody. It's a how-to day today. I'm going to show you how I did the floors. So let's move that to one side and bring in this piece of funky foam. I think they also call it craft foam. I got this one off Temu, if you remember the unbagging I did. It's got blooming cat's hair on it. You can usually find it in the children's section of a crafty department in many very somewhat hideous bright colours, but it's usually cheaper in the children's section. So here we go. I've done most of this one, but I've kept a little bit clear here. What you do is once you've cut it to size, I've drawn out what I wanted on this one. Sometimes I freestyle, which can be hugely entertaining. I've got a ball tool that's, I think it's a 1mm ball tool. And all you do is you stroke as if you were writing, and then you gradually build up the pressure to push the foam round out the corners to make it look like a stone. Just keep repeating it until you feel it's satisfactory, and then go on and do another one. Oh, sorry, shaking the table now, look. Can you see that forming? Round out the corners. Make it look like stone. And I think if you have a little 2 here, we'll have a little 1 there. If you put too much pressure on, it works quicker, but you run the risk of it cutting through the foam. Let's have a little half one there, which you don't want to do because you don't want to tear the foam. Right, there we go. So that's all done. Black acrylic, paint the whole thing black, edges, and leave it to dry. Once it's dry, this is the floor of the outhouse. It kind of looks a bit like that. That was Loki. And what we need now is, oh look, I've got everything out and I've lost the white. Where's the white? There it is. A little bit of white. Let's do this where it's in frame, if I can. You don't need much, just tiny amounts. I mean, one of the benefits to this is it's all dry brushing. A little bit of black just in case we get a bit keen with the white. I've got, when a paintbrush dies, i.e. you can't use it to paint with anymore, I cut them down, I hack them up, and I make these little, I call them boffer brushes. But they're great for things like this. So you go in, get some paint on the brush, and then we'll go this way. Just start gently brushing, because you only want it to kiss the surface. You don't want it to go in the cracks. The black serves 2 purposes. It seals the foam and it acts as the shadowing in the cracks, which, so you see how that's coming along now? We're getting some brickwork. If you don't want the direction to be the same all the time, you want the stones to look a bit different, just keep changing direction with the brush. Don't worry if you have too much. If it's too much, get a little bit of black, just go over the top, dull it down a bit. But I quite like splashes of bright colour on them. And there you go, keep going. Turn that round so I don't get my fingers on it. And I think, what do you think, folks? I think I'm going to call that. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. I like that. So that's it. Sweet and simple, easy peasy lemon McSqueezy. That is how you make the floors. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Short and sweet. I've got to glue them all in now, paint them and glue them. As always, like, share, follow, and I'll catch you on the next one.